I am still your most competent acolyte, Lord Darkseid.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 30 most surprising and stunning moments in DC animated movies. Beware of massive spoilers ahead.
I didn't do any of it. You did.
Number 30. The true villain is revealed. Justice League Dark. Although the sickly Richie Simpson held a grudge against Constantine, the ill man was willing to help his old ally track down a new big bad. Unfortunately, the sorcerer wasn't able to solve the mystery. The situation got worse when Richie was brought to the brink of death by the sinister Faust.
Richie, who was it? Who did this to you?
Faust.
Felix Faust.
However, things weren't what they seemed. After the heroes brought the injured Richie back to their base, he sent them on a wild goose chase. He then stole an artifact from the house that instantly enhanced his power. When the heroes returned, the enhanced Richie revealed that he was behind all the bad supernatural events that had recently occurred. This stunning betrayal showed us why Constantine had so much trouble trusting anyone.
So we had to frame Faust and get you to bring me here. Now I'm immortal and supercharged!
Number 29. Bruce Breaks Bad. Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders. During this family-friendly Dark Knight story, the hero avoided committing excessive violence and strictly obeyed every law.
Not so fast, old chum.
But we're in a hurry, Batman!
Jaywalking is extremely hazardous, especially at night.
Catwoman wanted to change that by scratching Batman with a chemical that made people evil. But despite her best efforts, the Dark Knight didn't turn sinister on the spot. While Batman seemed a bit stricter after the incident, he still fought for justice. We thought he was just in a bad mood until he used a device to clone himself. As it turned out, Bruce had indeed been turned evil. He was just waiting for the right time to launch his sinister plan. Including a dark turn like this in such a light movie definitely took us by surprise.
From now on, Batman will be running this town, and eventually, the world.
Number 28. President Luthor's deadly plan. Superman, Batman, public enemies. After the genius supervillain became commander-in-chief, news broke that a kryptonite meteor was headed towards Earth.
The new numbers also indicate our original estimate of time of impact was right. 7 days.
Correction. There's not going to be any impact.
Lex initially promised to destroy it with nuclear missiles. After the weapons failed to make a dent, Amanda goes to the president to hear his backup plan. To her surprise, Lex was completely okay with the nukes failing. The villain had decided that it would be best to let most of the population get killed off so he could lead the remainder of humanity.
The world that will spring from the ashes will be a better one. Rational, orderly. And you know how I know that? Because I'm going to build that world.
While we've seen Lex commit to destructive schemes before, his willingness to let billions die still caught us off guard. The fact that even the morally dubious Amanda Waller wasn't willing to back him up was a sign that the president had gone too far. Number 27. A Multiverse of Titans. Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. We knew that two versions of DC's most famous teen team would meet up during this zany crossover movie. But we had no clue that the animators would bring in even more versions of the Titans. During the sequence where the heroes travel between worlds to escape an angry Santa Claus, they accidentally stumbled into the serious DC animated movie universe.
What are you?
Whoa!
Oh man, look at that guy!
This hilarious detour was only the beginning. The two Titan teams went on to meet countless versions of themselves. While some variants were invented for the movie, others originated from older TV shows or the comic. The surprising inclusion of all these teams turned this silly movie into a serious homage to Teen Titan history.
You could maybe defeat 2 teams of Titans,
I definitely could.
but now you're up against all of us! Titans of Infinite Earths! Go!
Number 26. The Death of Cybercore Humans. Reign of Superman. Everyone on Earth thought that the Justice League had been killed by aliens. In the wake of this event, Cyborg Superman asked human volunteers to join his new Cybercore hero team.
Which is why today, I am announcing the establishment of a new, stronger league, a Cybercore, to honor those who have perished in the name of justice.
The metahuman used alien science to give regular people extraordinary powers. Although the altered humans became strong enough to help humanity, they also got brainwashed by the technology. When the real Superman made a glorious return, we expected he'd be able to free the humans from their service. But there was only one way for them to leave the Cybercore. After Cyborg Superman was defeated, every brainwashed human volunteer dropped to the ground. Our jaws dropped when we realized that the people who tried to be heroes had died as villains. Number 25, you choose to kill Batman. Batman, Death in the Family. In this interactive film, the viewer can make choices to change the ending of the movie. While the movie can conclude in a few surprising ways, one shocking ending stood out among the rest. Viewers can only see this ending if they choose to have Batman sacrifice his life to save Jason from an explosion.
Listen, promise me you won't kill Joker for killing me.
After Bruce is presumed dead, his protege deals out brutal justice to the criminals of Gotham. On one fateful night, it's revealed that Talia forcefully brought Bruce's body back to life without restoring his sanity. This twist gets more shocking if the viewer chooses to kill Bruce. As Batman takes his last breath, he reveals that he has a bomb. It kills him, Talia, and Jason in one fell swoop.
Sur and
Number 24, a parasite took control of the Oval. Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sun. The alien organism known as Starro can release small clones of itself that can take over other beings' minds. When the villain was brought into the Battle of the Super Sons movie, its parasites also gained the ability to hide inside of their victims. This sneaky ability made it impossible for us to trust anyone.
Jonathan, it's time to go home.
She's compromised.
Although we had a feeling Lois Lane had been taken over, we never anticipated Starro to get to a certain supervillain. After the reporter is freed from the parasite's control, she went to the White House to warn President Lex about the threat. The supervillain surprisingly agreed to help out before revealing that he had already been taken over.
I urge you to remain calm and allow yourself to be taken by the almighty Starro.
Seeing Starro in the Oval Office was a jarring and chilling sight. Number 23, Iris dies in Flash Time. Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. The massive crossover story focused on heroes trying to stop an antimatter wave from wiping out every universe. Throughout the epic tale, we kept flashing the scenes of an elderly Barry and Iris living happily as a married couple.
I know why you still put that raggedy old thing on. Because you still look damn good in it.
Although we thought these were visions of the future, the truth was much more complicated. It turned out that Barry used his super speed to take Iris into his Flash Time state. While it prevented them from dying, it also sped up their aging process, so they quickly grew into an elderly couple. This huge revelation led to the heart-wrenching moment where Iris had a heart attack and died. Unfortunately, using Flash Time only postponed the moment where Barry lost his love.
Iris, please. You can't leave me.
It's not for long. We're almost finished.
Number 22, A Quarter Reveals, Batman vs. Robin. A villain named Talon spent most of this movie trying to make Damian Wayne into his apprentice. After the young Robin agreed to be the big bad's disciple, he was taken to the Court of Owls. The Council of Villains made the boy remove his mask to prove his loyalty. When Robin revealed that he was Damian, the Grand Master of the court realized his father was Bruce Wayne.
That means Wayne is...
Batman. No, you're wrong.
The public unmasking was swiftly followed by another twist. When Talon was told to assassinate Robin to weaken Batman, the villain decided to slay everyone on the court instead. While we were glad Bruce's secret was safe again, we became extremely wary of what Talon was capable of.
I've just sacrificed a world for you, Robin. Now what will you sacrifice for me?
You're insane.
Number 21, Constantine turned his heaven into hell. Constantine, the House of Mystery. After Darkseid's forces left Earth on the brink of destruction, the petty dabbler in the dark arts encouraged Flash to reset the timeline.
I'd guide him with magic to change events and keep Darkseid from ever finding us. And for my past sins, I decided to make sure I paid this bill myself.
While Constantine's allies remained on Earth, he was sent into a grim and mystical house somewhere in space. He spent an untold amount of years being killed by his loved ones and was unable to die.
So I got to experience death at the hands of my friends and loved ones. Over and over again.
After Constantine escaped, he lashed out at the being that put him in that blood-soaked house. The powerful Spectre then revealed that the mystical place was supposed to be a haven of happiness. It was Constantine's negative emotions that turned it into a hellish nightmare. Not only was this a great twist, but a sad realization that the sorcerer didn't believe he deserved a happy ending.
Bloody hell. I did it. To myself. All of it.
Number 20, Batman prepared to take down his super friends, Justice League Doom. Shortly after the Justice League completed another successful mission, the majority of its members were caught up in deadly scenarios. Each of those heroes found themselves in situations that specifically used their strengths or weaknesses against them. After Batman escaped certain death, he revealed that he caused the issue.
Alfred, get the Batwing ready. The Justice League is under attack.
By whom?
By me!
It turned out that the Dark Knight documented ways to stop any Justice League member who broke bad. Although his plans weren't deadly, the Legion of Doom took Batman's ideas and made them fatal. While the reveal split the League in half, fans loved this twist. The Dark Knight's tendency to be prepared for everything is usually a strength, but in this movie, his readiness nearly cost him his friends.
In light of the breach of trust revealed to us during the Vandal Savage matter, we have to decide whether Batman should be allowed to remain in the League.
Number 19, Darkseid's surprising death, Justice League Gods and Monsters.
The marriage between my lovely granddaughter Becca and your steadfast son, Orion.
In that same spirit, I welcome you to Apocalypse, Highfather.
In most DC stories, Darkseid is the final boss that appears near the end of a big tale, but he was just a shocking footnote in Gods and Monsters. During a flashback sequence, we learned that Darkseid was celebrating a marriage/political alliance with New Genesis. Without warning, his new friends turned around and assassinated the Big Bad and his people. This gigantic reversal was essentially the Red Wedding for DC fans. Since Darkseid is usually a brilliant tactician that orchestrates tons of death, we weren't prepared for him to be caught unaware. His death further cemented that anything could happen in this alternate universe movie.
You are one to speak. You are blood-soaked in betrayal.
Watch your tongue, granddaughter.
If I had to do it over, I would have warned them all. I would have shouted to the skies.
Number 18, the Riddler was behind everything. Batman Hush. The Dark Knight's normal routine of apprehending C-list criminals like the Riddler was turned upside down after a bandaged enemy named Hush came to town to make the hero's life hell.
Soon, Batman. Very soon.
During the villain's reign of terror, he orchestrates the murder of Bruce's childhood friend Tommy. Months after this bleak crime, Hush finally reveals that he was the Riddler in disguise the whole time.
Admiring my beauty, Mark? The damage to you may be more severe.
This story turn worked so well because it surprised new and hardcore fans alike. In the comics, Hush is traditionally revealed to be a Tommy Elliot who faked his death, and Riddler is seen as a throwaway villain within the film. No matter how much or little you knew about the storyline, the Hush reveal was guaranteed to shock you. Number 17, Robin goes too far. Teen Titans, Trouble in Tokyo. Like his mentor Batman, the teenage Robin didn't believe in slaying enemies, but the young hero seemed to break that one rule in a shocking scene. After Psychotech attacks his hometown, Robin confronts the villain in Tokyo. The two get into an intense battle where neither fighter gives an inch. In the end, Robin gets the edge and lands harsh final blows. When he stood victorious, he was covered in pink paint and Psychotech wasn't moving.
I am sorry, my young friend, but you leave me no choice. I must place you under arrest.
We were stunned to see one of the brightest heroes we knew at the center of a dark murder. Although it's later revealed that Robin didn't actually kill anyone, the scene where he appeared guilty still haunts us.
Whatever this Psychotech was, he was alive. And now...
I couldn't have. I would never. This isn't happening. This can't be real.
Number 16, Batman's final choice, Superman, Red Sun.
What do you want? What I've wanted since I was a child. To destroy you. To break and utterly humiliate the great Superman.
It was shocking to see a Kryptonian raised in Russia assassinate Stalin without warning. However, the more shocking moment came when this alternate Superman butted heads with a twisted Batman. This sinister Cape Crusader tried to trap the Kryptonian in a Red Sun trap by using Wonder Woman as bait. When the heroine springs Superman, the alien speaks about his plans to permanently control Batman's mind.
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to help you. Just a few hours of brain surgery, and then a nice job in a Moscow laundry for you.
But the Dark Knight refuses to go quietly and detonates an explosive that has fatal results. Superman was as stunned as we were to see Batman make his dark choice. And after hearing what the Kryptonian intended to do to Batman, Diana couldn't look at the alien the same way either.
What I see is that the man I once admired is long gone. If he was ever there.
Number 15, Darkseid's Not Done, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. When Supergirl was abducted by Apocalypse warriors, a small team went to rescue her from the planet. They narrowly managed to survive the hostile alien homeworld and its brutal leader Darkseid thanks to a clever scheme from Batman. The big bad also promises not to go after Supergirl again.
An admirable quality. Take the girl. I will make no move against her.
As the heroes walked away victorious, it felt like the end of the film. However, fans started to notice there was still a small chunk of time left in the movie. Their suspicions were confirmed when Darkseid burst through the door of Superman's family home. The battle that ensued felt like an extra reward for fans who wanted to see the villain fight Kryptonians. Honestly, we're glad Darkseid broke his promise for this twist.
I gave my word I would not come for the girl. Your death, however, is long overdue, Superman.
Number 14, Robin kills Nightwing, Injustice. Former allies became enemies after a brutal version of Superman forced heroes to choose sides. While Damian Wayne sided with the Kryptonian, Nightwing stood with Batman against the aliens' dark new regime. When the two teams met in Arkham Asylum, a fight broke out over what should happen to its prisoners. The chaotic battle took a jaw-dropping turn when Damian fatally wounded Nightwing.
Hey, Robin doesn't punch people after they go fetal.
You're not Robin, so shut up!
Seeing Dick Grayson lie motionless on the ground made for a bleak scene we weren't remotely prepared for. While Nightwing always risked his life when he put on the costume, we never anticipated that his death would come at the hands of a Robin.
He always blocks it. Always. Get away from him.
Number 13, Batman tricks a villain into sacrificing their life. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. The only way the Dark Knight could stop Owlman from destroying reality was if a speedster vibrated fast enough to open a doorway. Although Flash volunteers to try, Batman shoots him down.
I'm your man.
No, you're not. You're too slow.
What?
I know your limitations. You can't possibly reach the speed necessary to pull this off.
No, I can.
Fortunately, the speedy villain Johnny Quick was nearby and willing to lend a hand. The fast man puts his body on the line until Batman completes the mission. Upon the Dark Knight's return, Johnny Quick has aged decades. But the real twist comes when it's revealed that Batman knew that the speedster was sacrificing years of his life.
And all that rubbish about me being faster than Flash. You knew this was gonna happen.
Although the Dark Knight didn't directly kill Johnny Quick, hiding the truth still had fatal consequences. This stunning scene showed that even Batman would cross dark lines in the face of universal destruction. Number 12, civilians commit heinous crimes, Justice League Dark. At the beginning of this grim tale, average people go to violent extremes to slay the demons around them.
Help me! Someone help! Stay away!
What are you doing?
These civilians use everything from cars to shotguns to stop the supernatural threats they see. But as it turns out, none of the demons are real. It's revealed that civilians were seeing humans as demonic due to a then unseen villain.
No one's dying here tonight.
It's not me you should be stopping. It's them. Look at them.
This shocking sequence hit hard because of its grisly tone and amount of violent content. A story beat built around a new mother particularly stood out because of the disturbing way it comes to an end. As a whole, the faux demonic sequence made for one of the most unsettling things ever seen in a DC animated film.
They all claim to have seen nightmare visions beforehand.
Any clue what's causing it?
No idea.
Number 11, Joker's End, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Part 2. Once the Caped Crusader comes out of retirement, the Joker decides to continue his deadly crime spree right where he left off. He takes out dozens of innocents in a variety of ways before Batman finally confronts him. The two ironically end their fight in a tunnel of love. While inside the ride, Batman snaps and gives the Joker a life-threatening neck injury.
Go ahead. Say this has never happened to you before.
Shut up.
Make me. Come on, finish me.
When the Dark Knight refuses to go any further, the clown takes his own life to frame the hero for murder. This stunning and bleak scene marked a point of no return for Batman in the eyes of many. In the wake of Joker's death, some people couldn't see the Dark Knight as a hero anymore.
Through this horrific murder and his attacks on the police, the Batman has revealed himself to be an unqualified menace.
Number 10, The Identity of Jack the Ripper, Batman Gotham by Gaslight.
I assure you, visitors to this fair, men and women alike, will be safe from
Jack the Ripper. That's what he calls himself in the letter he sent the Gotham Gazette, isn't it?
Ever wonder what Gotham City would be like if Jack the Ripper was hunting civilians? Well, you don't have to wonder anymore. This Elseworld story reimagines classic members of the Batman mythos for the Victorian age. While we still don't know who Jack the Ripper was, this movie had its own answer. While Batman is looking for Selina Kyle at Commissioner Gordon's house, he stumbles upon a shattering truth. The lawman is actually Jack the Ripper.
Where is he?
Doing what he needs to do. His holy work. Cleaning the scum from Gotham. He needs to be severe.
After witnessing horrors during the Civil War, Gordon became the Ripper to enact his twisted view of justice. This major departure from the traditional Batman ally we all know and love took us all by surprise.
Look, Bruce! The world of tomorrow is burning, exposing the ashes of degradation hiding beneath. This is where we belong!
Number 9, A Hero Executes the Elite, Superman versus the Elite.
This isn't you! You don't do this!
I do now.
No! It doesn't have to be that way, Superman! You taught us that!
Don't mess with Superman. Why? Just ask the Elite. Led by the defiant Manchester Black, this group isn't afraid to kill. They also actively criticize Superman for not crossing that line. Eventually, the Kryptonian agrees to fight the team in an attempt to stop them. During the battle, Superman gets pushed so far that he seemingly stops pulling his punches.
I made the mistake of treating you people like people.
No sonar. Can't smell him either. Just scorched air.
But now, I understand better.
Our jaws dropped as the Man of Steel mercilessly eliminated each member one by one. It wasn't until the end of the battle that we got another twist. None of the Elite actually met their demise. It was all an elaborate trick. For a moment, we were really convinced that the Blue Boy Scout had stopped playing nice.
And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Ever.
Number 8, Heads Up, Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. In the Flashpoint Paradox, the Flash goes back in time to save his mother from dying.
It's a nasty spill, even for you. Let me see your head.
I'm fine. Mom. It's you. You're here.
Unfortunately, altering that event causes the entire timeline to become more turbulent and much darker. Within the new Flashpoint timeline, the Atlantean Mirror sees her husband Aquaman getting a little too comfortable with Wonder Woman. Blinded by rage, the Undersea Royal tried to kill Diana, but Wonder Woman quickly retaliates and removes Mera's head. This surprising demise sparks an all-out war between the Amazons and the Atlanteans that engulfs the world.
There will be no glorious victor, Diana. No prize.
What I do now, I do for the good of all.
As do I.
The same conflict also leads to the shocking moment where Wonder Woman ensures the young Billy Batson never says Shazam again. Number 7. Batman is a Vampire, Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Kirk, I read the news. I worry you're in as much danger as any of us.
I know, the skin is cold, but the heart's still warm.
If you've ever called Batman a creature of the night, you wouldn't have been that far off. But what if this time it wasn't an exaggeration? In a unique change of the status quo, the Batman of Justice League Gods and Monsters is actually the scientist Kirk Langstrom. But the much more shocking fact about this character is that he's a living and breathing vampire.
Every time I try to reverse the antigen, the cellular walls don't hold.
I didn't think they would.
Don't give up hope. We'll figure out a cure for you.
After experimenting on himself to cure his cancer, he accidentally became dependent on blood. Seeing this Batman relieve an enemy of their blood was startling, especially since Langstrom also has no qualms about killing. So bottom line, villains, do not get a paper cut around this guy.
Go ahead.
Bet you taste like crap.
Number 6. Thomas Wayne is the Dark Knight, Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox.
Bruce! Bruce! Bruce is dead. I watched him die.
My God, he's the one who died that night in the alley. Bruce died, and you lived.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman going to war wasn't the only shocking thing about Flashpoint. When Barry entered Wayne Manor to talk to Batman about their apocalyptic world, he was in for a rude awakening. In this reality, Bruce Wayne died in Crime Alley. The grim incident drove his father to pursue justice as Batman.
In your reality, is my son.
Bruce is alive. He's Batman.
If I were to help you, what exactly would we need?
But that was far from the only detail about the Dark Knight that made us gasp. Unlike his son, Thomas Wayne is more than willing to use guns and has absolutely no issue with killing villains. If you thought Bruce was brutal, then wait until you see his dad at work.
Batman! You should have let her hit the pavement. You shouldn't have thrown her. She slipped.
We also couldn't mention Batman's parents without highlighting the twist that Martha Wayne became the Joker in this dark world. Number 5. Tim Drake kills the Joker, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. During this futuristic Batman film, an elderly Bruce Wayne comes face to face with a Joker who's supposed to be long dead.
Can't be. Oh no, your old eyes do not deceive you, Brucey. After all, who know me better than you?
When the new Dark Knight Terry tries to figure out how the resurrection was possible, he learns the disturbing truth behind the clown's death. A flashback reveals that Harley Quinn and the Joker captured Tim Drake. After the clown subjected the sidekick to physical and psychological torment, Robin became molded into Joker Jr.
He needed a little molding, of course. What kid doesn't? But in time, we came to love him as our own. Say hello, JJ.
Tim is eventually ordered to shoot at a wounded Batman. However, Robin defies the clown and fires at the Joker instead.
That's not funny.
It was heartbreaking to watch the young Robin break down after permanently stopping the clown. The Joker's unexpected end was a moment that shaped the rest of the film's dark story. Number 4, Unmasking the Red Hood, Batman Under the Red Hood.
Your touch! You haven't lost your touch, Bruce!
Batman normally wouldn't mind seeing a vigilante get justice in Gotham. But when the mysterious Red Hood starts killing villains, the Dark Knight gets involved. During each of their clashes, the violent vigilante keeps hinting that he has a personal connection to Batman. Additionally, the Red Hood is able to get the upper hand against the Dark Knight by using the hero's tactics against them.
I'll carry that like everything else. But now there's this. He's taken everything I've ever taught him and turned it on me. It's a hell of my own making, Alfred.
Batman begins to suspect that the villain is his supposedly dead protege, Jason Todd. After the Dark Knight gets a sample of the Red Hood's blood, that shocking truth is confirmed. This earth-shattering twist makes Batman desperate to save the once mysterious vigilante at any cost.
I guess we should keep it even.
Jason.
Yes.
Number 3, Superman slays his wife, Injustice. While Superman vs. the Elite entertains the idea of Superman breaking bad, Injustice makes that a horrifying reality. During the film, the Joker hits the Kryptonian with fear gas before revealing that Doomsday is on Earth.
Doomsday! No! I will not let you hurt anyone!
Superman immediately abandons the clown and flies the spiky alien into space. Unfortunately, the Man of Steel didn't really take Doomsday into the atmosphere. The fear gas prevented Superman from realizing that he flew his pregnant wife Lois into space.
You took his wife. You took his unborn child. And his city. Why?
After all these years, Batsy, you really need reasons from me?
And since her heartbeat was linked to a nuclear detonator, her death results in the destruction of Metropolis. Both twists left our jaws on the floor. And unfortunately for this animated world, those shocking turns broke the Man of Steel and sent him down a dark path.
All hostilities will stop, or I will stop them. No one has the right to take innocent lives. No one. It's over.
Number 2, we've seen this Reverse Flash before. Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. When Amanda Waller tells her Suicide Squad to retrieve a Get Out of Hell free card, the team is attacked by rival villains. One of the squad's biggest rivals is Reverse Flash.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, he's too fast for him.
No, he's too slow. He should have broken into this jalopy and killed us all by now.
Since DC fans saw the character die in Flashpoint Paradox, it seemed like this was a new version of the villain. But in a truly mind-bending twist, it's revealed that Hell to Pay's Reverse Flash is the same guy that got fatally wounded in Flashpoint Paradox. It turns out that he used his speed to temporarily halt his death in the past.
I drew the Speed Force into me with every ounce of willpower I had left.
Since he couldn't stop himself from dying, Reverse Flash decided to nab the Get Out of Hell free card. This revelation was a great way to reward longtime DC movie fans.
Save me the trouble.
Maybe I'll just wound you too.
I promise you, Deadshot. I'm good for one last hit of speed.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Apocalypse Ambush. Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. The Justice League was pretty confident that they could get the jump on the villainous Darkseid. They even sent their heaviest hitters to the planet Apocalypse to dispose of the villain.
I won't ask you to give anything more than I do. But this isn't up for discussion. We're going to stop Darkseid once and for all.
Unfortunately, the superheroes walked right into a trap. The movie initially doesn't show us what happened to the Justice League members on Apocalypse. But when we finally saw what went down, we couldn't believe our eyes.
Darkseid knew every part of our plan. Those things that attacked us were half Parademon, half Doomsday.
Most of the heroes were seemingly torn apart by the vicious creatures named Paradooms. As if that wasn't bad enough, Superman gets permanently depowered, Batman gets brainwashed, and Zatanna gets devoured. Watching the most powerful heroes get tormented or eliminated was jarring. This shocking sequence definitely made it clear that the stakes were higher than they'd ever been.
I won't stand for further delays. After all, a conqueror must conquer.
What DC movie moment left you speechless? Let us know in the comments down below.
Tell me, what bothers you more? That your greatest failure has returned from the grave? Or that I've become a better Batman than you?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.